Good evening from us here in Bohol, at least. And we've had a busy day. We've been up to Tagbilaran, which is usually about a 2 or 2.5 hour drive. Today, Beth decided to show me what she calls a shortcut, which would have been a shortcut if we hadn't coincided with a flag ceremony, which was, where was that, honey? The flag ceremony? Sagbayan. So the flag ceremony is, now this is interesting, because what we're seeing in other countries is a complete, what can we say, not just a disregard of the flag, but of the national flag in the UK. They're actually banning people from showing the flag in certain situations. And there were those kids who were banned from school and sent home because they were wearing dresses that were the Union Jack, which is the British flag. And over in America, of course, when these college kids who are being taught, just my opinion, they're being taught by lefty professors who know more about being left than they know about being right, if that's not too obvious a play in words. But they're burning the flag. And yet here, in complete contrast, we drove through really what was a small village, a small township. And there was a sign saying, no entry, flag ceremony. And people are standing around, and of course, because I'm looking at the stuff that's coming up on YouTube, which is our only source of real news now, because we can't really trust the so-called conventional or traditional news sources of news, okay? And I'm looking around, and people have stopped what they're doing, and they're standing with the right hand across the breast in respect to the Philippine flag, which I regard as being an important thing. And if I go to, say, a graduation, and they play the national anthem down, and I see everybody in the audience, sometimes a couple of thousands, and they're all standing in respect to the flag and the anthem. Sorry, maybe I'm being old-fashioned, but I think that's great, and certainly is a lot better than watching kids who've been misguided and misinformed about a whole load of things burning their flag, which I know that it might be a little bit of hamming up or overacting or something like that, but a lot of good men and women died for their national flags. It's not so long ago when you count the number of deaths. So, that was just a quick mention. But actually, after we had done our thing in Tagbilaran, it attended to business, we came home and discovered that actually we're very low on groceries. So off I go again in the truck, and I go to Taliban, and I get the groceries. Now what I usually do is I used to read all the items off and show you the items and all of that, but lately I've just been looking at what the volume is of stuff that I've bought. And so first of all, I'll get the ugly stuff out of the way. That's the meat. Now the meat is what is costing more. This one was 200 pesos. Okay, so let's put that over there. When I'm looking through these bags and deciding what I'm going to buy, this one's 230 31, but it's a different kind of meat. It's chopped up pieces, and we use those for making curry. I also couldn't resist it, got a couple of packs of bacon, and the price on that has been stable. It had one hike. They tried it out and it went quite well, so it went up from 150 to 165. And I got a couple of packs of those because sometimes it's nice to have bacon and egg. So let's see what else. The other one, 182. Don't ask me what the difference is. These are pork bones, which, as you know, we always get pork bones. And one more. Now this is proving to be a place where the expenses are going up. This one is 206. Well, you may possibly remember that when I used to shop before and video it, the packs that I would get of meat were around 120 or 130, and so paying 140 I considered quite a lot. I'm no accountant, and I don't go in and tell you, well, this was so many kilos at this price and so on. I can't do that. What I can do is show you what the volume that we've got for the price that I've got. So here we are. This is what is on the table. So I bought everything in packs, but they're still in sachets, so not really good in your estimation. If you go to Costco, you'll be buying this in great bottles or packs. This is a drink that Bess likes to have. It's instant Milo, and it's a milk drink. I got a few things like this: corned beef, baked beans. This we use to make curry. So this goes in fresh gata, coco mama, and what is it actually? It is coconut cream. So coconut cream, got some washing up liquid. Now the only thing that has been extravagant in this particular case is that I got a pack of muesli. They spell it different here, looks like muesli, but every so often I think back and I would like to have the old-fashioned breakfast of not cornflakes, but a cereal like this. This one's blueberries and raspberries. Now I got two, but I've learned from experience that if there's more than one and in the fridge or whatever, I'll be relieved of one of them. Like if someone came round at the weekend and they saw that there's two of these, I say, do you mind, I see you've got two of those, do you mind if I have one? And try to avoid that. So some of the things here, like honey, I know that if I have two bottles of honey there, one of them will disappear one way or the other. So I got, Meadow Fresh, pure milk, full cream. Okay, these little drinks. So I know that I usually have half of them left, so I got two of these as a little treat for me. The usual of Sky Flakes, and of course for my friend whose wife loves Irish Spring, what's this? Icy Blast. So onions, garlic, and I love these as snacks, the oranges, and to everyone's horror, pancit canton noodles. So that gives you an idea of the whole thing that we've got. And surprisingly, this has cost me 3,076. Okay, so this is, I'll blame some of that on the cereal and the milk, because the cereal, because it's a chance buy as far as the supermarket go on whether it will go. But they're stocking it now. At one time you would see it once, and if you didn't get it there and then, it would be gone, and they would have bought very, very little just to see how it goes. Well, apparently it's going, because now there were quite a few of those on the shelf, so they're going, and now you'll be able to get them. And I'll make sure that I don't show everything that we have bought. I keep saying to Beth, we need another refrigerator, or as they call it out here, the ref. We need another ref. We do need another referee, I think, to stop the stuff that I try to lay in. You'll notice that, like, what have I done? I got corned beef, but I've only got two packs of corned beef, because I know that we're here at the weekend, and I know that there will be used. Oh wow, Daddy Terence, I see that we've got lots of corned beef. So instead of using one can or two cans, which they normally would have done, if there's 4 or 5 which I've laid in stock, they'll go into the condition of abundance, and they'll use them all. So I temper my trying to build up a storage attitude, and I try to temper that so that common sense is actually included in the mix. So that's pretty well what we've got, and it's difficult because I'm not the technically minded when it comes to budget. I really am not. So I don't look at these cans. For instance, like the corned beef. I must admit that if I think back and I think about how much I used to pay, these small, a can like this, whatever it was, whether it was fish, whether it was tuna was a little bit more expensive than the others, but sardines usually around 17 pesos, and suddenly something like this now is coming to 23. So things are definitely getting more expensive. What's this cost? See now, the oranges. See now, there's a pack of oranges there, and we've got 1, 2, 3. There's 6. So there's 6 oranges, and it's come to 159. Call it 160 for my math, and so it's still not bad, and they are delicious. And I usually get them in some form or another by putting them in the packing like that. They can use them. They have very experienced packers wherever they are, and they'll always manage to get at least one that's already past its shelf date, and that will go off, and you'll throw that one away. Pity that we're not making juice, because it doesn't matter whether the fruit that you put into the juicer is beginning to soften up a little bit, which if you're eating it raw, it does affect the taste. But if you're actually making juice, you can put them in the juicer, and it's totally okay. And I have to admit that I am a big juicer fan. I am a fan of the juicer. Got to tell you, I was living alone, so, well, I had a roommate, we shared a house, but to all intents and purposes living alone, and I was able to eat exactly what I wanted. As soon as you get married and you have an extended family, people coming in and going, coming and going, you don't get quite as much free choice in what you eat. And especially with the Filipinos, I found that the Filipinos are quite fussy eaters. Now, it's not just me that thinks so. I have my friend Michael, who also has the same problem. You'll get something that is British or American, and somehow close family are not very adventurous. I remember when we used to get boxes sent, one particular donor who used to send boxes, that was a friend, he used to send packets of instant mashed potato. You just add hot water and it would be instant mashed potato. It was heaven for me, and it worked out very well because nobody else liked them. It was as if you were asking them to taste some unknown thing that no one would ever. You're not going to put that in your mouth, are you? No, double entendre there intended. But they wouldn't be they wouldn't try it. This would be the thing. So you say, well, just try it, and you take a little bit like this, and you put it in them, and they go, no, I don't like it. So they miss out. And in the case of the mashed potato, I didn't force it because I used to keep it for myself, selfish little sod that I am. Anyway, so I know that people are saying you should not be eating the noodles because there's so much too much I don't know, too much salt, or too much this or too much that, and so you end up that the packet would, even before you cooked it, would be dripping in guilt. But the weekend is coming. I know that we're going to have people will be coming in. They're making food. Lovely comes in. As soon as she comes in, I think she thinks the first duty in her work, what her work duties are to make a meal where the plate is absolutely groaning with rice. You know, talk about Mount Everest. It would be at a peak like this on the plate. She would bring her brother, and it would all be gone. I don't know how they do it, but she would always cook a couple of packs of noodles. So these things, of course, goes all in the cooking. Ginger as well, and they like these little red onions, and so that's what goes in there. So really that's it. I get these because Beth likes these, Chucky. It's a chocolate flavoured drink, probably full of sugar, but let me have a look. Sugars. Oh, wait a minute. Sugars, grams. Kcal, is that? No, there's not much sugar in this, or is it? No, I should get my money back on my eye surgery. No, there's 9 grams. So it's lower than the numbers that I see in other things. But anyway, I only get a couple of those for Beth as a little treat. So that's our stuff that we've got there, and the whole thing, as I said, came to 3,079. This is the first time that we've tipped the scales on 3,000, I'm sure. And how many bags do we have? 1, 2, 3. We have 4 bags of meat because one is already in the cooker. So that's it. It is obvious that prices are going up, but the prices are in terms of packaging, like the meat. The meat is packaging, and it's more than I would have spent on a bag of meat, but that was when I opened and shut the bag. Let me show you something that really, I only just thought of this, but it really shows what packaging and marketing do. Wait, don't go away. I have noticed in my advancing age, advancing years, that my eyes can be scratchy. Never in my life have I used eye drops, but if you go in and have eye surgery, believe me, you will think that you're drowning, because the eye, they pin the eye open, and I know I'm rambling on, but it does seem to have something to do with what we're talking about. And this, what that actually says is, it says eye mo, mo being me, so my eye would be a loose translation. And it is a daily care formula. Now look at, next to my face, in my hand, look at the size of that packet. Right, now here's the own up. That's the bottle, and of the bottle, practically half of it is that bloody, is the cap. So I haven't actually used these yet. So you just snip the end off, okay? And it's a terrible duty to be doing, opening your eye and watching as an eye drop comes down. And in spite of everything that you do, your bloody eye is so good at avoiding that thing from going in. But look at the size of that. Look. That little tiny bottle in there on its own, the poor little thing. It could be in a packet that's a third of the size of this one, isn't it? Look. There you think, well, that's good value. It doesn't have a picture of the bottle, does it? But there we have it. Look at that. What can I do? I got scratchy eyes. Gotta have it. And even Beth is saying, complaining of the same thing. But hope you've enjoyed this. Rambling on, looking 22 minutes. And if the analytics is anything to go by, you'll have stopped looking. I'm talking to myself after 3.5 minutes. But anyway, when you get a little bit older, you do talk to yourself. There's nothing wrong, by the way, with talking to yourself. The only red flag is if you start to answer. Then you're in trouble, old boy. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.